Oh, temperature's dropped. Right. Well, I've got no idea if this is live or not. I'm assuming it is, but it doesn't show me that anyone's watching. It says 0 people, and I can't see any chat on there. So if there is anyone out there watching, hello. And yeah, I suppose I'll have to just waffle. Oh, apologies if anyone is watching and you are in the comments chatting. You have to chat amongst yourselves, or I'll just try and waffle on. So I'm fishing Chesil Beach, my favourite beach of all, freshwater beach, which is in Dorset, UK. And I've been here for about 2 hours now. The sun was glorious earlier, but that's hidden now by the clouds. It's really overcast, and out in the distance you can see the rain coming. It's going to be quite a pour down. There's going to be a lot of rain coming in. I've got my beach shelter here, but I haven't set it up yet. There's a breeze flowing through, which is a bit nippy, but it's not too bad. I've just had to put my jacket on though. And there's a couple of well, there's only one now, I think. Yeah, just one. There's one fisherman just down that way, and he hasn't had anything. Then there's a guy here to my right, just not far from me. He's had a dogfish, and they've both been here about hour and a half, 2 hours longer than what I've been here. Aye. I know, it's just the undercurrent's quite strong at the minute. I've had to put a gripper weight on, because it's just, it doesn't look that bad, but the undercurrent's quite strong. So I had a strap conger. I had a little strap conger. Hang on a minute, it might have a bite on here. I'm hoping you can hear me. I think it's just the undercurrent's just pulling the lead around, even though it's a gripper. It's just really strong out there at the minute. And it gets confusing. And this is a new rod, and I'm not used to it yet by a long way. So no, it must have just been pulling in the current, because that would have rattled again by now. Yeah, so it's a new rod. I'm not used to it yet, so detecting the bites and things like that, I'm just, when the current's like this, I'm finding it difficult to read it at the moment, but I'll get used to it eventually. But it's a lovely rod. It really is a nice rod. And I'm ever so lucky because actually he's just walking over now. This guy, he's a tournament caster, and earlier on we were practice casting, and because I have to be careful with my back. I've got arthritis in my lower back, so I can't do pendulum casting anymore. So we were just showing each other different casts and things, but obviously he's far better than me being a tournament caster, and he doesn't want me to say who he is or show his face on camera, so which is a shame, but I understand that. Yeah, it won't be long now. Yeah, big downpour. Yeah, thanks again for earlier. Really appreciate that. Really helpful, thank you. I still need a few adjustments, you know, but I know where I'm going wrong. Yeah, I think if I'd have got my other rod here, the one that I'm really used to, and I showed you some of my casting then, yeah, I can do well with that rod. It's just at the moment this one I'm still not quite feeling it yet, but I'll get there. I'll get there. But thanks again anyway. Yeah, so it was great actually. He really knew his stuff. Okay, so as I say, I've got no idea. I think it's live. But it's saying I've got no one in there. I know I'm not popular. I know I'm not a big YouTuber. I haven't got many subscribers. Now, hang on a minute. That was different. Let's just keep our eye on that. Was that another drag over the stones? I should, if that is a bite. It's hard to tell this because I've got a nailer hook on there. So if a fish does bite, it's more than likely going to get hooked. But look at that, as soon as I pick it up, still, I've got the tension on it. Probably, I'm not sure if you can see this, but I'll lower it down a bit, you might. I've got the bend on it, look. Yeah, I felt that go over the rocks then. Unless it is something small, like a small pout or something. It's not moving when I hold it. Try and get a bit more tension on it. Yeah. I'll say, even though there's a gripper on there, it's still rolling around. So there's nothing there again now. I had a torpedo on, and that was just playing the rod up terrible. It was just all over the place. Let me just pull that in a bit. It's light as a feather, but I can feel it just bumping over the rocks. Well, not the rocks, sandy bottom. There's no rocks out there. Let's just leave that in a bit longer. We'll see. Here comes the rain. Fill the spots. Yeah, time to get the beach shelter up in a minute. Get the coffee out. Oh yeah, some big black clouds coming. See all the rain coming in all the way around me. But it was predicted, and so it's no surprise to me. I've got mackerel and squid sausage bait on there at the minute. And the next one is a mackerel and squid sausage bait with a crab. I've got a peeler crab that I've just baited up around the main hook. Just because I had that one crab left, so I thought I might as well use it. But yeah, it's bobbing around quite a bit out there. I'm going to have to bring this one in, I think. There's either crabs out there or a little fish, little pouting or something. I don't know. What happens if I press this button? Hide chat view. Oh, hang on. What's that do? Show chat. No, still no chat. Right, I'll say, if there is anyone there, hello to you all. I'll repeat what I've said earlier. I'm on Chesil Beach, freshwater beach, which is in Dorset, United Kingdom, and my favourite beach to fish. I'm having some really good fish here, I have. So I've been here a couple of hours. There's a fisherman down there, probably 500 yards that way. He's not had anything. There's a guy here about 100 yards away from me. They're both fishing 2 rods. He's had a dogfish, he's had nothing. I've had a small strap conger, and yeah, that's it so far. So I'm fishing with a Century. Oh God, I forgot the bloody name. A Century Eliminator. Yeah, a Century Eliminator T700, which is a new rod to me. And I've got a Penn Spin Fisher 6 on there, 6500, which is a lighter reel than what I used to use, but it just felt like it balanced out a lot better on these type of rods. And yeah, I used to use like an 8000, but they just seemed a bit too. These rods are really light. They're seriously light, and the bigger reel, I don't know, just didn't seem to balance right. So whereas this one, the 6500, it seems to be much better. And I've got light line on as well. I've got 26-pound braid on, which I've had issues with. I'll come to that in a minute. With a 86 pounds braid shock leader on, and I'm got a pulley rig on at the minute with a 1/0 pennel hook and a 2/0 main hook, but it's been bent, purposely bent, to form what I call like a nailer. A lot of the carp fishermen use nailer hooks, and then I've offset the hook as well. So if anything does grab it, I mean, you know, it's going to catch. It should catch anyway. And I've got mackerel and squid sausage bait on there, and yeah. So the issues I've had, basically, I like to do a lot of testing with my lines. Or I did do a few years ago, And I spent a fortune on, I bought loads of different brands of line, braid, because on one forum this braid is good, on another one it's this and that, and everyone's got their own opinions. So at the end of the day I thought the only way to truly know is to buy a whole range of braid line and just test them for myself. So we put them in the workshop and we went through them all, and at the end of the day um, my favourite is Suffolk's braid. Oh, it just well outweighed anything else. It was brilliant. And so I've tried different weights of line as well, from £86 all the way down to £26. And the £26, it was just real strong, really good braid. And it doesn't fur up either. A lot of them, they're all started to fray all along the line and things. I'm not going to mention any particular brands, but there's some really poor ones out there, and they got quite a big name as well. And they was just, fraying up all the way along and things, and it's just not good. Whereas this, it doesn't fray at all. But the issues that I've had, and it's the first time ever, the last few days, and it happened to me again yesterday, was when I was out in the storms. It was a bit of a schoolboy error from my part, really, because I should have realised. I mean, the waves were really big. There was a storm. The undercurrent was like really strong, and I was fishing on a £26 braid when I know that in them conditions here, on this beach anyway, the potential for a big ray fish is quite high. So it was schoolboy error. I should have known to have had a heavier line on. But no, I've got my £26 braid on, which it's really good. You can get some good fish, but when the current was so strong as it was, yeah, I probably should have. Well, I should have gone up to a lot stronger. So what happened was, I first cast caught a dogfish within minutes of it being out there. Thought, right, yeah, okay, fish are out there, even though it's like real strong current and that. Cast out again, fresh bait on, cast out again, within minutes into another fish, but just as I got the tension on it, bang, my line snapped. And I suspect it was a big ray fish locking down on the seabed. So I had to put a new leader on there and bait up and everything, lost all my gear. Cast out again, and it was about 5-10 minutes after, exactly the same thing happened again, and the line snapped. Now, I've never had that before, so I called it a day. Tail between my legs and all that sort of stuff, thinking, well, what is it I've just lost? Could have had 2 good fish there and lost them. But it was my error, really. I should have known to put a heavier line on in them conditions when there's a big storm on like that. I mean, some of the waves were probably about 8 to 10 foot high, and the current was really strong. So it's my error. And but yesterday I came out again, and it was a bit calmer yesterday. Still a fair, current there running, still quite strong. A couple of the fishermen that was there, their rods was bending over as well. And then all of a sudden, my rod just bent right over, and I thought, all right, fish on. Again, just barely got the tension on it. Just about to start pulling. Now that's the lead again in the current, is it? No, that could be a fish. Anyway, I snapped again. So today, I've checked the line. there's no fish there, that's light as a feather. It's just rattling around in all the bumps. So I thought, well, it can't be my knots, surely. I've never had an issue with my knots. So today, I sat at the table, tied my main line to a shot leader, wrapped it round, give it a right good pull, and the line snapped. Not the knot was perfectly fine, but about 6 inches away, 8 inches, the line just snapped. And that was with me just pulling it like that. I mean, I was giving it quite a lot of force, but even so, it shouldn't have snapped. It just shouldn't snap. So, yeah, I've unreeled a bit of the line, so it's below where I would normally have it. I'd normally have it set higher than that, but I've reeled some off and cut the line. So, and tied a new leader on there, and that's what I'm fishing with right now. But I'm yet to catch anything big to know whether the line's all right or not. If it does snap, yeah, it's gut wrenching, you don't want to do that. But if it happens, I have got another spool with me with the same batch, the same make and exactly the same line, but just a different batch. So I've got that ready if I do happen to snap this line again. You'd swear that was a fish, wouldn't you? But it's just pulling on. I've got weed all on my line as well. Yeah, I got a load of weed on. So that could have buried my hook in that weed. I'm going to bring that in, but I just want to check the camera. Yeah, it's running, but I don't know if it is live 100%. I'm not 100% sure, and I don't know whether anyone can hear me. Well, that's an idea. Let's just check this. Yeah, same my mics are on. But it's saying nobody's there watching me, which wouldn't surprise me. But if there is anyone there, would you just send me a quick Instagram message to let me know? Or even if my sister's watching, hello. Send me a text message. Just let me know if I am live. 2, if anyone's even watching me. And 3, can you hear me? So if I don't get a text message in a minute, one way or another, I'll know you can't hear me, or that no one's watching anyway. But I'll probably still keep it running. Right, there's loads of weed on here, and that's probably what was pulling the rod up and down, so I'm going to bring this in anyway. That rain's coming now, getting heavier and heavier as we speak. Let's just get this off. Time to get the shelter up. I already know this rain's going to come lashing. Did the other day, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Oh dear, didn't half come down. That's okay, I'm prepared for that. Yeah, we're dragging in weed, look. Oh no, didn't want that on there. Get that off. That's around the shock leader knot. Okay, that'll do for now. I need to get a move on now. This rain's coming down quite a bit. Right. Oh yeah, that looks a bit battered. It's time for a change up anyway. Yeah, that's pretty battered. It's just getting knocked about in the surf, and I say there's strong currents at the minute. So I shall cast this out first. Got a fresh bait here. So ready to go. Say mackerel and squid sausage bait with a crab bait down here. Yeah. Tide's on its way in, but it won't be a high tide until I think about 8 o'clock tonight, something like that. I'm not sure I'll be out till that time, mind. Right. Let's get this one out. Ooh. Here we go. Oh yes, that's a bit better. That flew out a bit better. So I've got a good bait on there now. And it flew out a little further than I have been throwing them out, so all good. Hopefully we can get over that weed. I'm putting the clutch on really light, just in case we do hook into a big one again, and I'll try and play it as light as I can in the hope that the line don't snap. That should have settled in now nicely. A very slight curve on the tip. Right, let's have a look. So, nobody watching me. That's what it says. Okay, so, could be waffling to myself. Do I care? Not really. Be nice to know there's people there watching, because oi, 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 oi. Pally over there's got a doggy. Well done, mate. Got yourself a doggy. Right, that's it. Time for a fish now and then. I need a fish. That's 2 dogs he's had. And I've had that one strap conger. I haven't seen matey down there have anything. Shane, nice bloke as well. Spoke to him a couple of times. Don't think I've spoke to this guy before. One with the dogfish. But let me just show you quickly. I hope you don't mind. There he is. He's just unhooking his fish. Looks a lot further away from me than he actually is. It's not far at all from me. The other guy you won't be able to see down there, I don't think, but he's way down there. Sort of there. It's about 500 yards away. So, yeah. Right, I'm going to get my beach shelter up. So, where shall I position that? If I put it here, the wind's blowing that way. Be able to see the rod tip. Camera. Oh, that's going to be the awkward one. Where to put the camera? Okay, I shall put it down there. I know we're in for a big storm, you know, heavy downpour, and it's not much coming down at the minute, but I mean it doesn't take long for you to get soaked through when it's like this, so better off putting this up now. It doesn't take 2 minutes to put this up, so let's put that. Don't want too wide because I want to be able to stand up in it, so nice and bring the legs in. Get me shovel, just a carton container. Right, here comes heavy breathing. I've got lung disease as well, so I'll get out of breath easy. The wind's not too strong, so I shouldn't need too much. You can always add to it anyway. But if anyone's out there wants to know a little bit about beach shelters, there's quite a few different ones available on the market. This one is the Igloo, the Ian Gold's Igloo, and the reason why I really like this, it's got one disadvantage, but the reason why I like this is because you can set it so it's wide and you can get like a couple of people in there, or because of me and my back issues, I like to set it so it's tightly in. I don't need a lot of room inside there, so I set it so it's tightly in, and then I can stand up in it. And if I've set it so my head's touching the top and I haven't quite got it right, all you got to do is where you stand, just dig a bit of the sand away, or shingle, so yeah, you're kind of standing in a dip, and that way you can get it just right. But that should be okay. I thought the rain had stopped then, but it hasn't. Okay, so what I should do, just pull this up first. So yeah, these, I really like these because you can sit in them or stand up in them quite easily. There's loads of room, and they're really strong as well in the wind. But the downside is, even when they're collapsed down, Um, they're quite big, they're tall, and that can be awkward, especially when I had a motorhome. It was a bit of a pain then, because there's no way you can get it through the door. So you just have to push it through the back window and lie down on the floor, and then get to your destination and take it out and put it underneath the van and hope that nobody nicked it. So there are others on the market, as I say, lots of others on the market, but I just can't bring myself to buy one of them, because it's like, I know the IMAX one is a popular one, but none of the others, the IMAX or any of the other ones, you can't stand up in them. And I don't know if you can see me on camera from there, but so I mean, look, if I want to, I can just stand up in there. I could dig that out another couple of inches maybe, but that's perfectly fine for me. Stand there like that. I'm blocked from the wind now and the rain. I can see me rod. I sit down like this if I want to. I'm all covered in. Lovely. And yeah, so I really like it anyway. And myself all nice and home. I won't be able to stay here till high tide. I don't think I'll be fishing till then anyway. But if I did, there's no way I could set up here. I'd have to go. Well, I'd have to move over, because there's all. Excuse me. There's all rocks and that here. So obviously I won't be able to set it up there. So I'd have to move behind the camera a bit so that I can get further back. Because the tide will come up. Well, the tide comes right up here. It did yesterday. So anyway, let's have a look at my phone a sec. Yeah, so I got no idea. 0 people watching. If this ends now, I don't know. I wanted to check my phone to see if I got any. Oh no, I don't want to end. No. Oh. Just come up saying end the live. I didn't want to end it. I'm kind of fingers crossed that it is working. I am live and there are people there, but I can't check. I've just said all that about sending me a text message. I can't see it anyway now, because it'll end the live. I'm just wondering if I've... no, I can't check it. It's the way it is. Can't check it. Oh, it looks like he's packing up. It's only a bit of rain, mate. Yeah, he will come down really heavy, I know that. Yeah. Anyway, my phone probably won't survive in the rain. That'll probably get water damage or something, I suppose. I don't know. Due for a new one anyway. I'm annoyed with myself bringing this phone with me anyway. Well, I would have bought the phone with me, but it's my business phone. I could have bought my other phone with me, my personal phone. And then I could have logged in and seen the chat and things on that phone, while that one's doing whatever it's doing. And but I don't know, I just didn't think of it. Yesterday I bought my laptop down here thinking, oh yeah, I'll try that. But it was that wet. It really came down heavy, the rain. And I couldn't get the laptop to log on. It was doing all sorts of strange things. So I don't know. We'll get there. I'm not sure whether I'm one for doing lives anyway. I thought I'd just give it a go, but if everyone says no, it was too boring and it was not, you know, not enjoyable or whatever, then fine. But I'm not that good at doing videos anyway. I'm just not a YouTuber, but I didn't start this. I didn't start this to be a big YouTuber at all. It was just other people was encouraging me originally to start the YouTube channel to show some of my gadget ideas and things. And I know I've done a few videos and shown some things on there, but it didn't work out quite as how I thought it'd work out, to be honest, because well, there's 3 or 4 things that I was gonna show, and then I thought they're too good for just to show. You know, you need to bring them to market and have them available for sale. So some people can't, you know, they can't make things themselves. So, and they are pretty good ideas. So I thought, well, rather than just show them, I'll wait until I can manufacture them and then have them available for sale if people like them. So that's the plan with that anyway. But the things that I have shown on there are things that, like, you know, they're easy enough to make yourself and they are useful. But to bring them to market, all the tooling involved and whatever, it'd just be horrendously expensive, and you just never know how things are going to sell, you know, whether they're going to sell well or not. So the things that I've put on the channel so far, like I say, are things that you can make yourself easy enough. You don't need to, you know, you don't need a lot of stuff. You just need a hacksaw, I suppose, a bit of glue here and there, things like that. So, and like modifications to the tackle box that I've done, you know, they're easy enough as well, easy enough for people to do. I know some of them are a bit more tricky. The rod rest stand, yeah, you probably need to know a bit about DIY and have, you know, a few decent tools to do that. But even really, that's not tricky either. Modifying if you got a sea salt rod rest stand, and you're fed up with the little issues like what I had, those little tiny knobs on there that can just fall on the ground and you can lose them, and you know, there's just a pocket to store that and another pocket to store that, and it's like, at the end of the day, I modified mine so it was like quick clip in for the top bar, and the bottom cups stay fixed, so you don't have to take them off completely and put them in a separate bag. Yeah, you had a couple of doggies you had. Oh, did you? Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah, it's mucky at the minute, ain't it? Yeah. Yeah. No, unfortunately, no. It's the same all week, yeah. And we got I mean, it's only spitting now, isn't it? But it's going to come down heavy, isn't it? Yeah. I don't mind. I'm only there anyway, so it's no big deal. Yeah. Well done anyway. I forgot where I was now. Yeah, so some of the mods, you know, can be a little bit trickier than the others, but some of them I'll say I'm hoping I can manufacture and have them available. Just some little gadgets that I've come up with that I think might help some people. And but we'll see. Things like that take time. Take a long time. It's a long process. Bringing anything to market is a long process. Sometimes you come up with an idea, you know, say if you're new to it, or I'll get people phone me and say, oh, can you give me some advice? I've got this little gadget. It's a great little thing, you know, and it's like, you know, do you think I could get it to market in like 6 months from now? And you're like, no chance. You know, people don't understand what's involved. Um, you know, there's you've got to go through certification, the tooling that can take 2-3 months. You got to get it all caddied up first, all your prototyping. So I normally say to people, I'll tell you what, if you can do it in 2 years, from idea to market in 2 years, you're doing really well. It can take a lot longer than that. I can't remember how long it took me for one of my projects now, but it was like many years. Yeah, good few years. It's just such a long drawn out process. Everything, you know, you have to wait for everything. Like CE testing, you've got to have CE testing, and that all goes through the labs and things like that. And you know, they test to destruction. Really, you have to send them like so many, like a dozen or 20 of your product, and it's got to be completely finished as well, packaged, everything. And then you send it off for testing, and they can send back and say, no, we don't like that, or we don't like this, or you know, somebody could cut the finger here. You know, you need to redesign that, and all your tooling's been done, everything. It can be a nightmare. So you've got to learn how to sort of do the CE testing yourself, so that when you do send them off to the officials, you've covered as much ground as possible. A bit like doing your own MOT on a car. Before you actually take it in for the official thing, you know, do all your checks yourself. Check your water fluid, you know, for your window washers, your wiper blades, your brake lights, all the little things you can do yourself. Check them, and then when you've, you know, exhausted all that and you think, yeah, it's all okay now, then send off. That will go for your MOT. But that, you know, that takes a couple of months for that to go through the labs, because, you know, they test to destruction, and depending on what the product is, you know, if it's something that's got electrical components in there, PCBs, battery packs, motors, you know, they purposely shove tons of power through it that it's not supposed to have, just to see what happens, see what the emissions are, how much power it takes before it explodes or catches fire, and yeah, all that sort of stuff. And then you've got ROS testing as well, or UL testing. And all of these cost a fortune as well. Like UL testing, which is when you're covering the American market. I mean, UL testing is just very expensive, and can take, well, it depends what the product is, but can take a really long time. And then at the end of it, you might not get it. You know, they might say, oh no, this is wrong. You spent 15 grand on it, and that's, you know, you got to spend another 10 grand on it, and it's 25 grand just to get a sticker on it to say it's UL approved. The CE, again, that's tricky, or can be tricky, but not quite as expensive and not quite as drawn out. So yeah, it can be quicker to get that, but when you're international, you know, you got products going out international, you do need ROS and UL and CE and all that sort of stuff. So yeah. Anyway, this fishing's not doing too well, is it? Pretty wet now. That's all right. I'm okay with that. See that it's, oh dear, it's going to come. It's getting heavier and heavier, and I'm expecting it to be torrential. My mate up there he's still fishing. Alright, what's that? Is that pulling again with the weed? Look at that. You'd swear that was a bite, wouldn't you? Let's have a feel. Yeah, it's just the current again. Damn it, I think I just pulled the grips out then. Oh well. Yeah, you may notice, I don't know if you've seen it or not, turn the camera around, but I'm not actually using a tripod. Oh yeah, you can see, oh no, there you go. I got just a tube in the ground. When I'm on the sandy beaches or gravel beaches like this, I've just seen a message. Was that George Ray? I think I just seen a message saying there's people watching. But it just flashed up and went again so quickly. And I didn't touch anything on my phone. Well, that's true. That's brilliant. Well, I know George. I know he wouldn't tell me a fib, but I mean, that's awesome. And here I am just waffling on because I've got no idea if anyone was watching or not. So, hello everybody. Sorry for all the waffle, but where you can't see any chat and you know, I don't know. It's difficult. But anyway, I'll try and just waffle on. Some people will tell you that I'm pretty good at waffling anyway, so. But yeah, I don't tend to bring a tripod. And the reason for that is, it's another thing for me to carry and another bit of weight. And yeah, I've modified mine. It's simple to put up and, you know, it works well or everything else, but I just don't need it. So why bring it? This tube here, it fits in my rod bag. There's no weight to it at all. It's really strong, you know. I mean, it takes a lot of pull to pull that out the ground. It has happened to me when I've had a big ray on, but yeah, it's sufficient. And some people say, yeah, but you know your rod's always right the way up. No, it isn't. I mean, I've got that at an angle now, but that's only because I'm quite, I don't know, I'm about 30 metres away from the break. I just never know how long I'm going to be out here fishing, so I'll set further back. And but as I say, later on that tide will come right up here, will come right past there. But so if I want to, if that was a flat, calm sea now, which it looks on camera, it looks a lot calmer than what it is. The undercurrent is quite strong here, and so I've just got it up like that so that it's just going over the top of them first few waves, the breaks. But if I wanted to, if it was flat calm, I can have that. I've had that put in at a much sharper angle to the ground. Aye aye. It's all right. You get a lot of military, a lot of military vehicles coming past here. Whether they be helicopters, airplanes. There's been quite a few ships out at sea as well. There were some aircraft carriers out there for a while, especially when there was that Jersey French thing going on. They were parked out over here. Well, a good few miles out. I can see them right on the horizon. Got a good telescope back at home and binoculars and everything else, so I get quite a good view. And if you don't know, where I live is like 49 yards away. I've measured it on, that's as the crow flies. I've got to walk around this, there's a little ramp there. And yeah, so this basically, what you can see out there, that's my view. That's my view from the living room. Absolutely love it. And I'm a different person when I'm here. I'm back to my normal self how I used to be. When you see me on my videos doing my gadgets in my workshop and that, I was so bloody miserable. But at the end of the day, I wasn't very well. You know, I'd been through a bit of a rough one, but I do look bloody miserable on there. I can't remember who it was now. It says you can tell from the look in your eyes you're in pain and all that. And when I look back at them now, I'll get embarrassed about them. Really, that's not me at all. Uh, so yeah, I feel great. It's brilliant. I'm back home. Love it. Absolutely love it. And that's why I don't care about the rain or anything like that. It just doesn't bother me at all. I've only got to walk there. I can easily just jump in the shower straight after, get cleaned up and warmed up in no time. And so it's not a problem. Not a problem at all. The only thing I'll be wary of is if it starts thunderstorms and things like that and you see the lightning, then obviously that's a different story altogether. You know, with the rod out and the beach shelter, really, it can catch that as well. So, you know, you've got to be a bit careful. You've got to be a bit sensible, haven't you? So, yeah, I'll love it. So, let's get myself no, it's not what you think it is. It doesn't require batteries. It's my miniature flask, and it holds like a good mug and a half of coffee, something like that. It's just, you get a thimbleful. But I'm just going to stand over here actually while I drink it. Well, I'll have a sit down. How about that? I think you can still swim. I'm not sure, but probably more interested in watching the rod anyway than me. But oh, look at that. Oh, I love it. Coffee. I love my coffee with cream and sugar because I am not sweet enough. I need sweetening up there. Oh, I tell you what, I love my coffee. This is... Oh, there used to be a time, you know, I'd bring a bottle of rum down here. But I don't drink no more. Not because I didn't need to drink it. I wanted to give it. It's just one of them things that just happened. I got ill and then I just never drank. I used to be a right party animal. I used to drink so much, and but it just doesn't interest me anymore. Whether I will have a drink again, I don't know. Might do. Yeah, I don't know. I got some of the best rum as well in the house. I love premium rum, not that stuff you get in a bar, behind a bar, normal bar. That's no good. I mean, proper premium rum. It's just so nice. It's not bloody cheap though. See, a lot of people go on about that Kraken, but I can't stand that stuff. I think it's awful. Sickly stuff that is. I mean, that's become really popular, but I just can't see the appeal in that at all. That Kraken. I got expensive taste, mate. I like Ronza Kappa Exo. I got Bumbu. Oh, hang on, what's the name of that one? Oh, well, I'll tell you one that's not too expensive. Dead Man's Fingers. My daughter bought me a bottle of that a few years ago for my birthday. And I couldn't believe how nice it was. It's some people in Cornwall. They developed it. And they call it Dead Man's Fingers because obviously they live on the coast. Dead Man's Fingers is the name for the lungs of a crab. So there's something there anyway in the name. But How nice that was, I tell you. Really, really nice. Really nice. And yeah, that's only a cheap one. I can't remember how much that is, but probably only about 30 quid a bottle or something. Whereas Ron's a Kappa XO, I mean, crikey, that's like £130 a bottle. But oh yeah, that is so nice. But I don't bother with any of it now. I've got loads of it. Got loads of it in the cupboard. I've got Bumbu, which is very nice. I've got a special bottle of that. It was about 50 odd quid. And it's still got the seal on it. And I've had that a couple of years. I just don't, it just doesn't appeal to me anymore. But I still like a cigar though. I have the odd cigar here and there. I had one last week when it was my birthday. It was nice. I did bring one with me here. I've got one here. But yeah, I don't know. I don't fancy it yet. Oh, that coffee! I might have to have another one of them in a minute. Wonder if is my camera still working? I wonder. The timing of that then with George Ray sending me a message just as I looked at the back of the camera was brilliant. The chances of that. Yeah, it still says nobody here, nobody watching, and I can't see a single comment. So I hope you're all enjoying yourselves. I know you normally all chat amongst yourselves, which is great. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. But yeah, when I'm watching lives and that, I just think it's brilliant. I love it. And there's some fantastic ones out there. Some fantastic channels. But the lives, I don't know, something about the lives. It makes you feel like you're there. And yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah, coming down a bit now. Right, I think I need to start prepping a bait. Nothing's happening with that one out there. That's the one with the crab on as well. Yeah, some brilliant lives, isn't there? I mean, Dave with Cardigan Bay Adventures, brilliant channel. Love his lives. Vern Sea Fishing. I think he's hilarious. I love his lives. Hardcore Fisherman. What a great bloke he is. Scott. Oh yeah, Scott Harris as well, West Wales Fishing. All of these, you should go and subscribe to them. There's Hakan, Master Fisherman. There's just that many. I mean, you can't off the top of your head, but I know a lot of you, if you know, the people watching this, there'll be a lot of you are already subscribed to them. But I mean, if anyone isn't subscribed to them few that I've just mentioned, then go for it. You won't be disappointed. They do some great lives, well, videos as well, not just lives. And yeah, I'm just getting this old bait off here. I didn't. So what I do, I know people call it match fishing. I just call it being prepared. I normally have one hook length out there with the bait on, and then I have another hook length that I get ready, get prepared, so that when I reel in, it's dead easy, dead quick, just to unclip one, clip the new one on, cast out, and then after you've got time then to just sit here while you're fishing to clean that hook up and get ready for the next one again. So I suppose I ought to bring this over and show you, but what I'm doing here. So I pre-prepare put my teeth back in. I prepare my baits the night before. So I get one of these little takeaway cartons and store them in there. So these are my mackerel and squid bait elastic into a sausage like that, and then I get my baiting needle, put my baiting needle through, bring it out just before the end, like that. This is the straight hook one. This is so the one that's on there at the minute is the nailer. So the nailer it's got a bend in there in the nailer, and the hook is offset a little bit as well. Whereas this one's a straight one, so I'm trying both. Just checking that hook point. That's still really sharp. So this one can go back out again. So just put that in the end there, and then with your line get a bit of tension, and I tend to just do that like this, and then I can just feed that round down over the knot, feed it round like this, position it where I want it, say there, take that off, get my pennel hook, which is a 1/0, short shank 1/0, and I'll just wrap that round a couple of times there, get it in position. I try to put it so it goes through this squid, so it's nice and strong, and there you go. So not much of a tail. I used to put like extra squid on there and have like a bit of a tail flapping, but I don't tend to do that anymore because I've been studying a lot of underwater footage and things like that, and I've watched the way the fish peck at things first, and I was just thinking if there was a peck at that, they could get hooked anyway. So that's the idea behind it. I just don't bother putting the tail on anymore. I could put one on easy enough if I wanted to, but I got some little squid tentacles, or yes, I said tentacles. So I don't need to do it now because it's pouring a rain and there's nobody about. But this is something I'd add on my channel. And I said I would show what it was for, that I always keep in my tackle box. I said there's nobody about now. There's just that fisherman down there. There's no holiday makers here at the moment walking the dogs. But if they do, if it's a like sunny day, what I tend to do is bait up like that, put it inside one of these tubes like that, and then I've cut the lid, a little slot in the lid, so you put that on there, and then you can either hang it up in your shelter or off your rod rest or wherever, or just leave it on the floor, the side of your tackle box. And then when the dog walkers come and the dogs come, obviously, unless they take the whole thing with them, they can't get to your hooks. And so it's just a way of storing it, especially if you're, at the break reeling in or something, and dog walkers come along, and dogs always go towards your bait, because the smell attracts them. So that's just a way of protecting it, really, protecting the dog. And I'm an animal lover. I love all animals, I do. So yeah, it's just a way to protect it. I always my other bait lids are on, in the takeaway boxes the lids are on, and then when I am ready to bait up, you just take the lid off and pull your bait out, and there you go. So, as I say, there's no dogs about at the moment because it's pouring a rain, but you never know. So yeah, I was using it earlier when the sun was shining, but you can see what the weather's like now, so very unlikely that the dog walkers will be out in this. So that's that. I was trying, I put a 2-hook click down rig on earlier, and I put my special bait on for that, my black lug and sweet corn, and I thought I'd accidentally turn the mic off then, but the conditions were a bit rough for it really, so I had a quick go with it, but I didn't get anything, so I'm back to the pulley rig. It's strange now because the wind's dropped, but the rain's heavier, and the tide's not as doesn't look as rough as it was. Yeah, I feel that dragging. Right, I'm going to change that bait in a bit. The crab that was on there, that'll be all washed out now, but the mackerel and the squid, yeah, the mackerel and the squid, that'll be absolutely fine still, but the crab that's on there, that'll be washed out. So yeah, I think what I'm going to have to do when I bait up again, I'm just going to have to try and get it out there even further than what it is. Oh, I can't tell now how far out it is because I took my marker off. I haven't got my counter with me either. Oh, I can't be bothered to run up the hill and get it. No, I'll just go with the flow. Just try and get it out as best as I can. Right. There are people still watching. George Ray, if you're still watching, or if anybody that's watching, if you can send me another message, please. Not get it ready, but don't send it right yet because I want to get behind the back of the camera, so because it just flashes up on the screen and then disappears, and I'm frightened to touch any buttons because I'll accidentally end the live or something. But yeah, just if you could just send me a message, tell me whether there's anyone watching and that you can hear me. That'd be brilliant. So you get that text ready, and then when I get round the back of the camera, I'll say send, and then I'll wait and see if that pops up on the screen. So yeah, get that text ready for me. As I say, all I want to know is if there is anyone there, and I thought that was a bit of line then that I just found. Whatever it is, I'll take that with me. It's like some string or something. I'll take that with me. Yeah, whether anyone's watching and that you can hear me okay. Well, in this weather, this mic might blow up, or my phone might blow up, I don't know. Right, I'm going to the back of the camera now. If you can hear me, if there's anyone watching, would somebody just send me a quick text now, an Instagram, or if you've got my number, a text message, and if you do that, it'd be brilliant. And it should, oh, George 007, yes, thumbs up, brilliant. I think it said 30, I can't believe that. 30 people. So I'm assuming you can hear me. I'm trying my hardest here to waffle on, but I know you'll all be talking amongst yourselves. It's quite difficult, really. Be a lot easier if you could see the chat and join in with some of the chat comments, but yeah, trying to waffle on, quite difficult, really. But yeah, okay, I'm going to check this bait, see if anything's had a little nibble at it, or right, let's have a go. Oh, matey down there, he's packed in as well. It's light as a feather, that is. Might have some weed on here. Oh, hang on, there might be another guy fishing down there that I didn't notice. For me, it looked like one guy, but I think the one guy's just walking away now, but there's still a beach shelter down there, so there must be somebody else fishing. He's set quite far back, so he's probably going to be fishing for a while, waiting for high tide. Load of weed on here. Oh. There's a steep shelf off here, so when you reel in, you can feel it dragging right up that slope, and yeah, it takes a bit of reeling in sometimes up that slope when the tide's pulling it back. Even if you wait for the moment, it still drags it back. Okay, so unclip this bait that looks complete. Oh, hang on, it looks like it might have had a little bite out the middle. Yeah, that's strange, look at that. So the crab's still on the side here, but the bit of squid has gone from there. Look, it looks like something took a bite from the middle. Oh dear. Okay, so we'll get this fresh bait on. Now at the moment, because I'm getting used to this rod, it's a new rod to me, and I'm not casting it brilliantly at the moment, so I'm a bit of an awkward caster with my back issue. It looks like I look like a drunk ballerina or something, or a ballerina on drugs, something like that. But so at the moment I'm just using a basic short pulley rig with an imp. So because I'm making some mistakes when I'm casting with this rod at the moment, and I've been adjusting the reel seat up and down, trying to get it in the right position, and I still, it's not there yet. I need to move it up an inch or down an inch. I'm surprised where it is, that it feels the way it does. It feels not bad. It's like I say, it just needs that little bit of adjustment. It's a lot further up than what I would normally have, where I'd normally have it. So, and that's what's surprising me. So because of that reason, I don't know at the moment about my casting. You know, it's not the best casting in the world. I'm not using a click down. So I can't do my Brighton cast or off ground, or of an in-between cast. I don't know if you can see me on that camera, but it's a bit embarrassing anyway, so it's probably best if you can't. Oh yeah, that weren't too bad. I know my casting, it's not the picture perfect casting, but it does fly out there. Oh god, as soon as I've done it on my back, pulls on my back. Oh dear. Right. Get that. I'll wait for that to settle a minute. My finger stall, it's on my channel as well. A driving glove, nice and thin, soft leather. You can feel the line through it. Doesn't come off, and you just pull it off, put it on, cast, and then what I tend to do is just put it in the corner of my pocket there. So it's just there, ready. And as I say, I'm using thin, very thin braid, 26-pound braid, which really should be a bit heavier in these conditions, but it's what I've got. So yeah. So if you're casting braid like that thin, I can't remember what the diameter of that is, but it's something like 0.18 or 13, something like that. I can't remember. It's seriously thin anyway. Yeah, you don't want to be casting that without a finger stall on, really. You know, it can really do some damage. Cut through to the bone, it can. Right, so that's settled a bit now. It's quite a nice little bend on there. Ratchet set. Clutch, whatever. Hey, I won't need a shower now, will I, in all this rain? Okay, so the line is very slightly to the right. Let me just have a look at the view, what you've got there, because I don't know if you would have seen that cast or what have you. No, you probably didn't, did you? I can't remember where I cast from now. Let's have a look. Oh, I cast from there, did I? Oh yeah, you might have done then. You might have seen me cast that, I don't know. Good for you if you did. Not so good for me. Do me drunk ballerina. Yeah. Right then, we should get a fish any minute now. Fresh bait. What's the chances of that when I said that? Look at that. But you can see, can you see out there, there's a huge swell. Oh, it's disappeared now. There was a huge swell just went past in. So whether it was that or not, I don't know. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think, oh dear, hang on. Was that? trying to keep the tension on the lead but not drag it, and then waiting to see if I get... Damn it. It feels so light, that does. There's no fish on there. I just don't know whether I'm bumping over them ridges. If this was my other rod now, the one I'm so used to, I'd know instantly, but this one I'm just not used to it at all. There's got to be a fish on that, surely. I'm going to reel it in anyway. Feels light as a feather. Oh, hang on. Yes, it's got to be stronger. Yeah. There might be a little doggy on here. Or is it? Has it come off? Oh yeah. No weight on it now. There might have been something on it. There might not. There's nothing on it now. So weird. Let's have a look at that bait. It looks a bit mullered, doesn't it? Yeah, something could have had a little bite of that. And that's not the nailer, is it? No. Damn it. I wish this was the nailer hook now. It looks like it's come from the middle again. These fish are getting smart, aren't they? Well, beans that ain't been out there long. Beans that ain't been out there long. I'm just going to put that out again. Just so it's not the best bait in the world now, but just so I can read the knocks, whether it's bumping over the ridges. As I say, it shelves off here, really steep, not far out, and then apparently, and I don't know this, I've never seen it on any of the videos, but people underwater videos, but apparently it goes along and then shelves again. I've never felt it on the rod, and I've never seen it. People do say that, but like I say, I've never seen it on any of the underwater footage, and I've never felt it on the rod. You certainly feel the one close in. No denying that one. Right, if I go over here a bit, I think get me on camera. Right, you ready for the ballerina on drugs? Oi, oi! Right. So I'm trying to control the casts at the moment rather than give it full welly. So like a fluid motion. Oh jeez, my back again. Oh. Yeah. So I did that cast a little bit different to the other one you've seen. I didn't put my right foot forward. So I didn't step into that one, whereas I did in the previous one. And yeah, right. I've got to get another bait ready then, haven't I? Because if something is biting, then we could be in for a fish. I was just saying that when the rod went. That's it, I remember now. I was just stood here. I was just saying, right, hopefully we get a fish in a minute, or we should get a fish in a minute. And then that happened. I couldn't believe the timing of that. But I just feel that it's all changed again now. The mucky water started from way out, and there might be some really far out still, but there's a gap now. The mucky water is probably 30 metres from the shoreline out. It's probably about 30 metres wide. But as the tide's coming in, it's getting less and less. So I'm kind of hoping, well, we're sort of in the middle of what looks to be a bit clearer water, which is a good thing. But then further out again, it looks mucky again. So it's kind of like stripes, from what I can see anyway, looking down this way. I bet you that my phone's going to be blowing up in a minute with all this rain. Yeah. Well, I can't see any water on the lens. And from what I can see, it looks okay. Looks like you can see. Whew. Right, let's get another bait going. Get one prepared. On the hook, I mean. They're already prepared. Already rolled in sausage. Oh, I've still got my little pamphlet in my back pocket. Might have seen that on my channel as well. So I always keep this in my toolbox, in my tackle box, with all the pictures of the fish, because the amount of people that ask when they're walking past, what can you catch here? I've had it a few times today, so I just put it in my back pocket in the end, and then you just say, you know, have a look. And they're always quite surprised at the variety of fish. You can't name them all off the top of your head, just too many. And yeah, there are some in there that you're not going to get from these beaches, but you know, you just leave that for them to make their minds up. Yeah, it's good. Sometimes you forget certain fish. I mean, I've had some good gurnards off here, and that's one I never. When people say, you know, asking you, trying to think off the top of your head, that's one fish that I never tend to mention. Just doesn't come to mind when I'm trying to think, well, you know, list a load of fish. But actually, I've had some good gurnards off here. So these, I can't believe these weather conditions this time of the year. It's people are saying it's like about a month behind. So what we've got now should have been like April, and yeah, so we're a bit behind on the weather. I can kind of believe that. But, right. Okay, put that to one side. This is the nailer hook. Oh dear. Wow, that got me good, that hook. Right, I've drawn blood, look. Oh, you won't see from there. That hook just went in my thumb proper. Oh dear. Never mind. It's only a bit of blood. Soon go away. Okay, so uh, these baits are quite long. I mean, how long is that? That's got to be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's got to be 5 inches long, that bait. So I could cut that in half. I'm getting a bit of my own blood on here, look. I could cut that bait in half, but they're taking a chunk out of the middle. I'm just wondering whether... Hey, let's try it. Let's try it, you never know. So I'm going to cut this one in half to like a sausage. Small sausage. There we go. Oh, that blood's coming out of me. That went in proper, that did, that hook. Luckily, didn't... Well, couldn't have reached the barb, I don't think. Still winning quite a way. Yeah. I forgot what I was saying before. Too much waffle. Waffling on. Waffling on. Yeah. So we've got the nailer hook on here. I might show you that again just in case if there's anyone on there watching. I didn't show it before. So excuse the blood on my finger if you happen to see that. But the hook is bent there, just slightly bent there. But it's also offset as well, so the hook's coming outwards there. And so this is one, the long sausage bait, so I've just cut down in half. And just put it on the end there. Bit of tension on the line. And then just slide the bait around. Like that. And then get that to there. So this is a much shorter bait. Just to try, being I've seen, I think twice now is it, I've seen that bite out the middle. I'm just thinking if it's just a bit shorter bait, you might have a chance of catching. Like that. There you go. So that's a short bait. So there's the hook showing, slightly offset, and there's the pennel hook there. So that's mackerel and squid wrapped together. Oh, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because I know some people are wondering why, but as I said before, I don't put tails on anymore, just because I've been watching the fish, underwater fishes and things like that, the way the fish nibble at stuff before they actually take it properly. And so I don't tend to put tails on anymore. So if you've got a short bait, I'm just going to put one small um, squid tentacle on, just like that. I'm only going to put it through once. So just that little tail on there. But I wouldn't normally do that. Not now. down there, whoever's down there, that's gone. I'm the only one here now. That blood's still pouring out my bloody, well, not pouring out, just trickling out my bloody finger. It's, it might have gone past the car, and it might have just pulled it off, I don't know. Right, I'm going to sit in here for 2 minutes. Ugh. Get a thimble full of coffee on the go, with me cream and sugar. Oh, I love it. Bloody hell, look at it there. Throwing it on the cup. Oh, cheers everybody. Whoever's out there watching, really appreciate it. So yeah, cheers. Hope it's not too boring for you. I can bloody waffle on if I want. Well, I'll try anyway. Oh, right. Oh, absolutely love it. So there's just me in the entire beach and one crow behind you. There's normally I enjoyed that so much. I got to have more. Oh, look at you as well. Lord Ludworm, you've got to go and check his channel out as well. It's bloody hilarious, that mate. And I'll tell you one channel everybody must look. Uh, the guy, I just think he's absolutely brilliant. He's such a nice fella and really helpful and everything else like that. He's just so nice. And that's William Glasgow UK Fishing, something or other like that. Yeah, what a cracking bloke he is. Good laugh as well. Lots of tots. He reminds me of me years ago. Brilliant. But he's really helpful. He's got good knowledge, good pike fisherman. Yeah. It's just when you're standing there trying to think of other channels, you know, you later on you're watching